All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the Ultimate Recruiting Boot Camp. If this is your first day on, maybe you had maybe you got registered late. We're so glad that you're here. It's not too late to join the party. This is your first time joining in. You were here yesterday. Let us know in the comments. We want to celebrate you for making it on today. Want to thank everybody who's taken the time to be a part of this boot camp this week. I once heard the message, you're never going to regret, investing in yourself, right? Investing in yourself, your resources into yourself is the best thing that you can do. And I don't just mean like financially even, but this kind of time, right? Your resources. And one of my mentors early on said, if you fill your wallet up with your brain, if you fill your brain up with your wallet, your brain will fill up your wallet. And so that's why I've never ever regretted any investment I've made in myself with my resources. Actually, I see Steve on here. Hello, Steve. I remember one of the very first large investments I made was with a business coach who I'm super honored is here today. Let us know. Hello, Steve, in the chat.
We both coached with Steve.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Duh. It's so funny too. Random story. While we're letting more guests in the stream.
I'm on it.
Oh, I love it. Joan had coached with Steve Wilcher, incredible direct selling coach. And what's so crazy is actually, I was in a place in my business where I was ready for that next level. And I was ready to work a little bit more intimately and with someone in addition to what we were doing in our organization, needed some, fresh ideas. And I actually Googled him. Turns out Joan had known of him. It's so funny. So small world. But I say that to say, right? When you fill your wallet into your mind will fill up your wallet. And that has stuck with me forever because our time is money too, right? Our time has a dollar amount. I don't know what that looks like for you, but some of us too are doing activities that are worth $10 an hour when we could actually invest into our business that will make us 20, 40, 50, 100, 300, 1,000 an hour, right? I think at one point, well, anyways, I won't get into numbers, but the reason I share that is we're honored that you're here investing your time with us. We're so excited. So I'd love to hear again. I know we shared a few things, but let's actually look at a couple of the Sula recap of yesterday and talk a little bit about sorry, I'm a little under the weather. So moving
you got your hot tea on you and your water, right?
I forgot the hot tea. I know. I might go get some, but so let's talk about day 1, you guys. So you guys crushed the Facebook post. You crushed your homework. I'm so excited for you guys. Oh my gosh, let us know in the comments how it went. I see, Adrian got 223 comments. We had Lisa. Oh my gosh, Lisa, such a dear friend. We were actually talking at church on Saturday, and she was telling me, I got to get this Facebook stuff going. And to see her get 212 comments and counting, I'm sure it's probably at 300 by now. Incredible. Ashley, thank you for your comment here, social media experts. Thank you. We have worked hard at learning this stuff, right, and implementing it. And Joe, over 141 comments. This was just a few hours in. There were so many comments in the groups, in the chats, and in our VIP lounge afterwards too. We delved a little bit deeper into creating more content, branding, more of finding your niche audience, things like that. And so they did an incredible job in our VIP lounge with their homework as well. Their kind of in-depth homework. And so proud of you guys. But in case you missed day 1, the reason we had this kind of post here is we talked all about creating engagement from social media and how we can actually train the Facebook algorithm to put our content in front of more people. So when we create engagement, we tell Facebook, hey, we are creating conversation. We are creating community. One of the biggest things that is so important to recognize is a lot of you are here because I'm already getting hot. So a lot of you are here because you've probably had some success in the face belly to belly action of network marketing, right? And you're trying to figure out how can you get the online space to work for you so that you can leverage it to create an online system and create more leverage in your time, your business, in your life, and have more time with your family, right? And so when you understand that you can use Facebook and train it and understand the algorithm, you can know, hey, if I keep the algorithm ready and primed, like what we did yesterday was we primed them. We primed the algorithm so well that now you go out and post, you are going to get more eyeballs on your content. And that's free traffic. When you think of lead generation, driving traffic to your offer, okay, this is like, I want you to put your business cap on for a second, because this is what we're not taught in traditional network marketing. And it's like, it's not a shame on the company, right? Like we leverage the company, our partner company, as a way to not have to carry all the heavy lifting of a traditional business owner. But one thing we have to remember is we've got to still treat it like a business, right? And so when we have our business hat on, we know that we can create true, and we learn how to create true lead generation. That's the true lifeblood of a business, right? And so this is why lists of friends and family and, warm market just isn't sustainable, right? You've got to always be creating warmer markets. But how do you do that without, chasing people at the gym or church or at the gas station? Like, been there, done that. That's a story for another day. I actually married the man I tried to recruit at a gas station, but story for another day. But the reason I share that is, I was there at a point where I was always doing this kind of active recruiting, right? I was always trying to actively start up conversations like in person with just the intention, right? And what I want you to focus on is we're going to talk about how to bring that into the online space today. But I want you to think about, how can you truly be authentic? How can you truly focus on connecting and building relationships? Okay. And so I see a couple people in the waiting room. If we could let them in, that would be awesome.
Hey, Megan.
Yeah.
I just gonna want you to know that we've got a little issue with the streaming and sound, and I'm not really sure why. There's a lot of people that aren't able to hear. So I'm just saying, maybe just if you could pause just a minute. I'm directing everybody to come with a Zoom link.
Oh, got it. On the StreamYard. Okay.
Yeah. So I just am giving you a heads up. Just
thank you.
On it. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Awesome. So someone remind me, let me know in the chat box, where was I? Let me know down below. I think everyone here can hear me right? Okay, it's more of we are streaming live into the Facebook group as well, so that this is a great hack too. Pause, like great hack. While someone thinks of where I was in this conversation, a great hack is when you create content, like repurpose it. Like if you go live in several places, or if you do a Zoom, like go live into a group. Like we used to go live into our team page, even when we did our all team meeting, because we knew like we're going to get people's attention and remind them, oh yeah, get on Facebook or get on the Zoom, right? Oh, thank you. So taking actively recruiting, but taking that online and then creating it in a passive way where now people are being attracted to you because of these nets that you put in the sea, right? And you get your fishing, right? You're a fisherman, right? So now your nets are casted into the sea. Your pieces of content are in the sea, just waiting to get fish, right? So I just kind of wanted to give a little recap of yesterday. We talked all about creating engagement. We see a ton of takeaways, ton of comments. And what we've done is we've primed the algorithm now to be like, whoa, like what Adrienne, Lisa, Joe, Ashley, everybody on here, what they're doing is they're creating conversation. Like, let's reward them as the content creator now and push more of their content out into the feed. But you also have to be very careful about what you post, right? And we'll get into more of that this week. But today we'll talk a little bit about those lifestyle posts, things that you can post to create authentic interaction. So if we're ready to dive in, say I'm ready in the comments, let us know below. And we're going to, with that being said, Joan, Joan, anything that you would like to add to before we dive into day 2 here?
I just want to take a minute and say, welcome back to day 2. Get your pens and papers ready for notes. So just a little recap. I see people waving their pens. I love that. I'm going to be manning the chat, so I'll do the best I can to answer the questions in the chat. But if we don't get to your question, please know that you can go to the Facebook group, or if you're in the VIP, you can place your question there. And our goal is to serve everyone. If we unfortunately miss or overlook something in the chat, we're just going to focus on Megan's training, take a note of it outside, and then we'll make sure that we get to you. My best suggestion that I can do is everybody take one breath. I love to do this. Just take a breath in and let it out. And let's commit to being focused right here, right now. It's really good to see all of you. Megan, back to you in the studio.
Awesome, thanks. Okay, so also thank you for reminding me to mention the VIP. I do want to let you guys know, some of you have messaged us asking about the VIP lounge. We are closing the VIP lounge from today's call. So basically, if you haven't seen the VIP lounge, we have daily implementation labs, special one-on-one time with us after this. And tomorrow we might have a couple extra people in there, guest speakers. So they're getting a lot of extra time. They're getting unlimited access to all of the recordings. So if you do want to join the VIP lounge, Jane, if you could drop the link in the chat, we will be closing that from this call. So we have those 5 full days of VIP lounge, implementation labs, unlimited recordings, all the things.
Yeah, I actually drop it right now.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, cool. And then again, when you stay till the end, today we are raffling. What's our prize winner going to be at the end? Besides, we have Ignite the Light cards and then a gift card. What gift card is today?
The gift card of today is, you guessed it, Amazon card and the Ignite the Light. Woo, woo, woo.
Awesome. I love it. Cool. And I know Thursday we've got good prizes. Like Thursday, we're raffling off the Beats. Those are pretty cool. And Thursday, I'm also going to show you guys how to kind of wrap this all up together to create more duplication in your teams. So it'll be really great. So excited for that. So if you've got your workbook out, grab your workbook. We've got a couple bullets that we're going to go over today, and you can take notes in there. If you don't have the workbook, or if you're new here today,
I'll drop that in the PDF as well, or it's in the guides.
Okay. Joan's dropping it in there. Awesome. Thank you. And you can print that off at your convenience. So let's talk about really today how to expand your social media reach to attract high quality business partners, right? So we know that if we can get our content in front of more people, if now we know that once we connect with more people, we can now get our content in front of more people, and now we can do attraction, right? Like we can create this attraction to us. We can do what's called attraction marketing. And for those of you who've never heard that term, or have maybe heard it but haven't fully understood, like, what does that even mean? I want you to think of having like 2 magnets, okay? Like two magnets that are just fully magnetizing towards each other, right? It's this like instant attraction. And typically, like, it's not, does a magnet, magnetize to a piece of wood? No, it magnetizes to another piece of metal, right? Likes attract likes. And so in this space, we have to remember we are looking for people that are like ourselves. And so when you think of who is your target audience, I'm sure you've heard this before, right? Who is your ideal business builder? This is who you can think of as your target audience, your niche, right? And most often that is us. Like sometimes we overcomplicate it, but most often it's us. So I know, like for myself, my target audience is typically who I am, a faith-based mom who has an entrepreneurial background, who has certain types of interests, including faith. I love to do Spartan races, like all these other kind of hobbies that we're going to get into here in just a second. But again, we are focusing on creating a like with common interests, like magnets, right? Like a magnet would compel all of the pieces of metal towards it, right? Like a magnet does not care about pieces of wood, pieces of plastic, and that's okay, because when you try to market to everybody, you end up talking to nobody. So I want you to remember that. And if you've never heard that phrase, I really want you to write that down, because one of the biggest mistakes I made in this business was actually pushing off like to the side the fact that, you know, I needed to create a target audience. And once I started to actually like get me, who I am on paper, and recognize that was my ideal business partner, then I could actually start to speak to my target audience in a compelling way to attract them to me, right? And when you do that, everything changes, y'all. It is so crazy. You go from feeling like you're posting things like posting spaghetti against the wall, right? Just hoping that it'll stick, right? I use that reference a lot because you hear different things or you see different things, but you've got to understand what's the core. The core piece is if you don't know how to talk to people, right? No one's going to listen. They're not going to hear what you have to say. And most often it's because they don't care about what you have to offer, what you have to say. They care about how you make them feel. They care about whether they feel understood or not, right? Dale Carnegie says, you know, seek to understand first before seeking to be understood. Okay. And I have to wake myself up every dang day with this quote because even me, right? I woke up every day and I'm a bold person. Like I need people to hear what I have to say, right? Joan knows it. Steve knows it. So many of you on this call, you know it. But also have to remember, how can I seek to understand where someone's at so I can best serve them, right? And so this is where we think of when we serve the people, everything else follows, right? The sales, the recruits, the income, everything follows if we put the people first. And so what I want you to think about is who are you? What are your interests? What are your struggles and pains, right? And I want you to make a list for a few moments here and put who you are. Like, but I am a woman. I am a man, right? I am a, you know, how old are you? I am a mid-range woman. I am a, you know, young adult. I am a, you know, retired grandmother, right? Whatever that is. I want you to write that down. Okay. And then I want you to write down 5 of your interests or hobbies. So I'll give you an example. Some of mine include Spartan races, like Jeep life, Disney. Okay. Now I don't want you to think broad here. I want you to think very semi-specific, right? Instead of saying like working out, right? Like Spartan races. This is how you can get very detailed about, this is how you micro niche, right? Finding the riches are in the niches, right? So I want you to write down 5 interests or hobbies that you personally have right now. So just start writing down some of those things, okay? Again, like I said, you know, it could be running, it could be, you know, drinking espresso. Like that might be a hobby of yours, right? It could be baking. It could be baking like pies. It could be you know, like baking is there's a whole different type of baking, right? It's not, I don't want you to just put baking. I want you to put what type of baking. Is it, you know, baking desserts? Like I know a student of mine, Sabrina, she loves to bake sugar cookies. Like that is her like thing, right? And a couple other things, but I know we chatted specifically about that, right? That is, what do you love? Amber, let's find you some new hobbies. Yes, that's right. Let's find you some new hobbies. And think too, like, what are, you know, it's really sad too, as we get a little bit older and the life gets busy with kids and business and all the things, you know, it's like, sometimes we lose track of some of those hobbies, right? So think, what if you had all the time in the world and you were back in college, right? And if someone here is in college, I don't think we have any college students here, but back in college and you had like the day was your oyster, like what would you do? What are the activities that you would do? Homeschooling, that is a great niche. I love that. Homeschooling for sure. So single mom, that is great too. Like being a single mom could be a piece of you, right? And I'm gonna show you in a second where you can go with these things, right? So I love Angela's, like she's got single mom, boy mom, massage business owner, so like massage therapy kind of, right? 51, so like mid-range woman, paddleboarding, hiking, dogs, Jesus, like so great. Driving your son to soccer games, like I would have like soccer, kids soccer could be the interest, right? Or if you have a minivan, I'm totally prejudging right now. Okay. Totally prejudging. It could be like the minivan life. No, just kidding. Retired. Awesome. I love all these things. Okay. So next, I also want you to think of what are some of the struggles that people who need what you have or that you had before joining this business. And oh, this is so perfect. Thank you, Brandy, for sharing this. Brandy, you're incredible. So Brandy has a son, Nick, with autism, with special needs, right? And so she joined a business because she wanted the flexibility to stay at home with her adult son to help him, right? To do life with him, right? And not have him, alone all the time, and be able to have that freedom and flexibility, right? And so one of her niches is that specific role. So when you know the struggles, right? Like moms, if you think about moms, for instance, and I've recently experienced this too, because and this, I'm just talking this out with you guys because you've got to get in your own head. Okay. And this example might not be exactly for you. I know it'll work for a lot of you, but you have to get in the head of your audience. So this morning, I was driving my son to school, and this is new for us because I kept my son home almost until he was 3, and then he did part-time daycare, and now he's in school. And dropping him off at school has been one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I pick him up from school, and I remember actually I was on the phone. I actually with Steve the other day. Yeah. And Joe, I'm always talking to friends on the road or whatnot in the car pickup line. And I just had this moment of, oh my gosh, I understand my niche audience so much more right now because I've been on the phone and helping women that are like, I just want to stay home and homeschool my kids, or I want to stay home and I want to be able to, once I pick them up, be done. Like I want something to have, but I don't want to go to an office. I want a business that works for me where I can pick my kids up and then spend the rest of the day with them. And I had this moment of like, wow, I get to do that. I get to do that. But what's next for me is I want to homeschool. And I know Joan's like, oh my gosh, Megan, like me homeschool. No, it's called outsourcing. Like I would have someone else here. But my next goal is to is to start to join a co-op, start to homeschool where I can work, my desired hours, whether it's 10 to 2, 9 to 2, have lunch with my son, have him in the home, do co-op activities. And so when I know that, I know there's other moms maybe that already have a business that are already, but their kids are in school and they want to bring them home, right? That might be like the next phase for me. Or I know the struggles of a mom that wants to provide for the household without creating the stress of having to work outside the home. And so when I understand the problem to the core, like I'm talking to the core of having to drop my son off at school, or not being able to pick my son up also, because what you don't know is the first month he went to school in September, I did have a ton of multiple projects that led him to have to go to after school care, right? Even in this phase of my life. And I thought, this is not going to work. So within 30 days, thanks to having the flexibility, I was able to switch my schedule around and make things work so that I could start to pick them up from school. And I started to think, how many moms don't get to do that? How many moms? And that might be you here. That might be you here. And that's why you're here, because you're building your business. If so, let me know in the comments. So that might be why you're here. You're focused on, getting back the freedom to be able to go pick your kids up from school. You're focused on also now helping other moms do the same. And so again, general, kind of just my perspective, right? But take that, how does it apply to you, right? And the people that you're looking to partner with, because you can't help people go somewhere that you've never gone before yourself. And so when you have the problem yourself, you can now speak to them. You can all get into solution mode. You can serve them, and then you can help them have success. And Zig Ziglar says it best, right? Help enough people get what they want, and you'll end up getting what you want. Did I butcher that quote? Something like that, right? I don't know, all these quotes are coming back to me today. So anyways, so we've got to understand what is the problem that our target audience is facing. So what are their struggles, their problems, their pains? Who are they? And what interests do they have? Because now if we understand what they're thinking of when they go to sleep at night, and you all know it, like half of you on this call, when you go to sleep at night, you're probably wondering if you should even keep going with your business. I can't believe I just said that, but it's true. It's true. I know it because it crosses my mind too. And for me to say that, you might be like, what? Yeah, it does. Being a business owner isn't easy. It's not easy, right? All the flexibility and freedom is great, but there's challenges. But would I trade those challenges for my other option? Heck no. But does it cross my mind at night sometimes? Yes. And I know it does yours. But I'm here to say that because you have those thoughts, you can now be relatable to your audience. So you've got to know, what are they thinking at the end of the night? Right? Like spot on. Like some of you might be like, I can't believe she just said that. Why? Like, let's be real, right? Let's be real. I'd rather somebody know what they're getting into in the sense of, I'd rather be able to explain what's going on up here to best serve them. Because if I've had the thought, now I know they're having the thought, now I can help them. And so for some of you, it might be, hey, I am, they're wondering how they're going to pay their mortgage this month. Like for some of you, it's helping moms just make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month so that they don't have to go to a job, pay $3,000 in daycare, and then have only $1,000 extra because they need that extra $1,000. Like that is truly what's happening right now in this economy. There's never been a better time to build this business than now. And if you don't believe that, you're in a state of mindset of lack, of fear rather than abundance, right? And that's okay. We've all been there, right? So I want to encourage you, let's get into the state of abundance and let's focus on how we're going to help and how can we get in the heads of what is our target audience thinking at night, right? What are they thinking so that we can now talk to them online realistically and help serve their purpose, right? Serve their pain with a purpose. Okay. So I just went a little bit deeper in that, but than I expected to. But when you know these things, you can now position yourself in the marketplace to attract your ideal people, because that's what it's about. The reason a lot of people come into this business and they start recruiting and they don't see their recruits on, continue to have the same success is because either A, they're recruiting the wrong people, they're recruiting people that they can't serve, they're recruiting people that maybe they're just not onboarding properly. And we'll talk more about that on Thursday. But you've got to figure out, who are you passionate about helping? Who are you passionate about onboarding? Who are you passionate about helping get to the next level and rank up? Okay. Because if you're not passionate about helping that group of people, then I can promise you, you're not going to be passionate after they sign up, about helping them day in and day out, right? I'm not saying holding their hands, but helping move people forward. This is a people-based business, right? And you're here because you want to make an impact. You don't want to just recruit people to recruit people. You want to make a legacy for your family and your name. You want to make an impact and you want to make income. And the more we can focus on that, and the less we can focus on the chasing, and the more we can create content that actually attracts people, right? And create sort of some automated leads coming towards you, the more we can focus just on the income and the impact. And that's the fun stuff, right? Am I right or am I right? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so if we know who we kind of want to attract again, right? We've got on our list, we've got to understand their pains. And let's throw a couple of quick examples in the chat box, right? So like it might be that corporate America mom who wants to come home to be with her kids. It might be that stay-at-home mom who's facing having to get a job, right? Where were you when you started this business? Let me know a couple of examples in the chat box. And then I know we saw some of like the interests and hobbies above too. So let us know below. So when we know that, now we can think, okay, how are we going to find those people? Okay. And this is where we can leverage the online space to continue to throw pieces of content as nets into the ocean. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to go through a couple of examples. One of the things that I know a lot of people have asked about are hashtags. Okay. So hashtags can be really great because when you are making a post, right? And so let's say you're making a post. Remember yesterday we were talking about, remember yesterday when we were talking about, you know, uh, lifestyle posts, right? When we were talking about that, lifestyle value add posts, those are posts that can be centered around your interests. So now I'm thinking of like, what am I supposed to comment, right? If you just had a list of 4 to 5 interests or hobbies, now you can make a post around one of those things Monday through Thursday or whatever day it is, right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 3 to 4 days a week, right? You can make a post around that content. So instead of wondering, what am I going to post? You already have an idea, right? And you can literally create a content calendar, which we don't have time to get into today, but you can create a content calendar, and you could even pull your content into a storage method so that you can repurpose your content so that you can use same pieces of content, quarter after quarter, year after year. And so now you're not even creating much new content. That is how you can leverage also the internet, right? Super simply. So hashtags. So when you make posts, you can use hashtags to basically link your piece of content to hashtags that are being searched all around the internet. So you do have to have your profile, as Joan stated yesterday, as public, right? And so to give you an example, let's say some of your posts, some of your hobbies are, let's say like mine, let's say Spartan races. When I do a post, I can hashtag Spartan races, hashtag running, hashtag workout, hashtag mom boss, hashtag boy mom, hashtag, workout, things like that. Just do a couple. You don't have to do that many. But now what happens is when people on Facebook search those interests, your content will come up. Okay. So you can notice how if you just do this with your post, if you just take an extra 10 seconds to type out 1 or 2 hashtags even, and you do that every day, you can notice how the compound effect that will happen will be now new viewers are getting their eyeballs on your content, right? You can also do this on Instagram. I know I said let's focus mainly on Facebook, but some of you that are using Instagram already, if you're not, please do not try to add another platform in. We want to keep you super focused. But if you are using Instagram more than Facebook or you're managing both at once, you can also go to the explore page. And if you're using Instagram, you know what that is. And you can go to tags. You can type in certain things like hashtag Spartan race, whatever. And then you can follow tags. So now when you're in your feed every day, right, one of your daily activities is, hey, I'm going to comment on pieces of content that other people are posting. Well, guess what? Now you're following 10 new hashtags, let's say, you're commenting on people's stuff that are hashtagging that. They're now coming to your profile and they're like, oh, and they're creating a new connection with you, right? And here's what it's about. It's about doing daily activities for a small period of time that make people feel recognized and loved and spike their curiosity, right? And so we're going to talk about that. How do you make people feel recognized too from social media? We'll talk about it in a second. But how are we spiking their curiosity? If you're commenting on their post and they don't know you, they're going to probably go look, right? How many of you think of it when someone comments on your post and you're not friends with them or you don't know them or you're not following them or they don't follow you yet? How many of you are going to go and stalk them a little bit, right? I can think of, I am a fangirl of a lot of influencers out there or whatnot. We all are, right? Of people who might have done that or new friends or things like that. And then I think, oh my gosh, they commented on my post. I feel loved. I feel recognized. I feel like people are liking my content, right? It makes us feel good as a content creator, right? It's oh man, I worked so hard on having this post up and someone I don't even know went and commented on my stuff. So again, for comment for comment, showing the social media feeds what you want, right? Do onto other people as you wish to be done to you. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. You want a lot of people to post on your post? Go comment on a lot of people's posts. Go give a lot of love. Make people feel recognized. Go comment on people's profile picture. I promise you, you'll get their attention. That is the number one picture you should be commenting on, because guess what? It's their favorite picture, like it's their favorite picture. It's their profile picture for a reason, right? And so people want to feel loved. They want to feel recognized, right? That's how we are made as humans. Are you guys getting this stuff? Is there any questions? Does this all make sense? Make sense? Yeah, comment on their profile picture. And let's see. Okay. Any questions so far, you guys? Okay. So hashtags. So we can now go to hashtags, or we can post hashtags in our content. And now we know we have searchable content that's being searched daily by interest. And we know people, those interests now can start to see our stuff, give us a follow, add us as a friend, right? We can pique their curiosity.
Megan?
Yes.
Hey, I just had a question in one of the groups. I'm multi-manning here. People want to know if you put the hashtags in the post of Facebook or in the comments, or if you use hashtags in Facebook.
Yeah, good job. Good question. Good job. Sorry.
Thank you.
Good job, Joan. Yes, great question. So you can put them in the comments if you want. I usually prefer to put them at the bottom of the post, like in the post on Facebook. So you do a Facebook post. Let's actually, I'll show you guys an example. Would that be helpful?
I think that'd be great.
Okay, great. So let me share my screen in just a second. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I put hashtag Spartan, right? And here's some posts that came up, and it actually led me to a group, which we're going to talk about in a second. But let's say I did, just put Disney. Here's like this Evan person, right? Like they put hashtags in their reels, right? It's in their reels. People do it in their posts, however they do it. So now when someone's like, oh, I want to look at, I'm planning a trip and I want to look at like Disney World, right? I can see what's going on at Disney World. Like Facebook and Instagram are replacing Google. This is happening, you guys. You are becoming the new like Google creator. It's powerful. And this content lives forever, right? So, so yeah, think of what are your hobbies? What's searchable content that people with your interests might have? Okay. So again, like I showed you some of mine, like Spartan races, Jeep life, Disney, boy mom, all those kinds of things. Yeah.
I got one more good question.
Yeah.
So this question is around, if you are a direct seller or network marketer, do you want to hashtag those specifics? And I know there's a couple, I just want you to answer that.
Yeah, that's a good question. So if you feel like you're targeting network marketers, right, you can, for sure, if that's a part of your like niche, right? You can. One thing about targeting network marketers is, typically or people at least that are looking into network marketing, I guess, there's usually less like obstacles, right? Because they understand the business model. So you can definitely do that for sure. Did that answer the question?
I think so. And would there be any, let's see here, any specific hashtags that you think are like good to you? Any specific ones? Do you have your top 5, like just that anyone would use type thing?
No, because it's really going to range around like your audience, right? But I will say one way to be really smart is like think about what's trending right now. So like, I don't know, just like worldly news type stuff, not necessarily like political, but I'm trying to think of an example. Like it's getting close to holidays already, right? So posting your niche stuff, but also posting maybe like hashtag Christmas, hashtag, holidays, hashtag Thanksgiving dinners, stuff like that, of like trending stuff that's happening. Again, what's searchable? Like, just think, what are people searching right now anyways, so that your content can be pulled up? And one of the things that I can think of how people do this, which is actually, this is like, I'm trying to think how I share this. Like, so this was done very, very poorly, and I actually really hate that this is happening, but this is like this is an example of how it's done. This was done with really, really bad use though. So those of you who know Jessie Lee Ward, let me know in the comments if you know who that is. Unfortunately passed away from stage 4 colon cancer. She was the #1 female network marketer in the world. Super tragic. The day after, not even, there were all these YouTube videos about like totally kind of fake headlines. Like, this is like the worst way to, this is like the bad way to do it, right? But like, think, how can you do it in a positive way? But literally, they were getting so many views because people were like us, were curious, like, what happened? So now they're getting all these views. People who didn't even know her, that weren't even network marketing, that were bashing her. It was so bad, right? But they know what's searchable content right now. The whole internet was searching Jessie Lee Ward, right? They were researching like what happened, right? So that was a relevant searchable content. Unfortunately, they're stupid people. Like, seriously, horrible people. Like, I couldn't even believe, I've actually gotten into a ton of like battles. Like, I'm very always posting friendly. I don't ever share any negativity, but I have especially on TikTok, I have replied to several of them, been like, I am astounded. I am baffled. You need to delete your page, because seriously, I cannot believe how they're doing that. And so, but an example of like, things that are being searchable right now, right? Like, what is trending? What are people talking about in the world? Yes, very opportunistic. It really, really made me like my heart break. It was super sad. Because I was like binge watching some of her videos, and it came up, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so very sickening. And so sad. But that was a searchable piece of content at that time. So, okay. I don't want to, deprive you guys from the next piece, because it's really good. So we're going to move on into, the next way of where you can find people, because I'm running a little behind here. But that's a little bit about the hashtags, okay? So now what I want to share is Facebook groups. So you can find your ideal audience. So just think, who you're trying to attract. Where are they? Where do they live online? Where do you live online? Where do you engage online? Right? Now you can go and find interest Facebook groups and create connections there. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I'll actually drop a couple in the chat of kind of mine. And I'll show you how this can be done here. One. Oh, it didn't link them. Okay, I gotta get the link. I'll show you guys. So let me share my screen and walk you through a little bit how you can utilize this strategy, and then we'll kind of do it together. Here. 1 second. Okay, so here's kind of the like 5 steps to attracting new people from Facebook groups. And you can kind of consider this of like grassrooting also, of thinking, this is a term that's used of like, where does your ideal client live, or where are they already, buying your product or service, or where are they already interested in what you might have. So for instance, on the product-based side, if you have like a health and wellness product, you might have your interests be fully around, the health and wellness interests that you have personally. But when you think of like recruiting, attracting team builders, you might think, well, where are people who are looking to make money online already looking anyways? And you can think of this as like also keywords, right? Like, this is kind of what hashtags are. They're considered keywords that are searchable. Well, now you can think like, where are the places that they are online actively looking? And so An example is recently we wanted to hire a closer in one of our projects that we're partnered in. And instead of going to like a closing agency, we're like, well, where are closers living on Facebook? Because we were like, we don't want to pay 5 to 10,000. And we had heard some bad reviews, honestly. And we were like, okay, where do closers live? And so we found some Facebook groups that closers were in that were looking for jobs or were like just in community sharing tips with each other. And that's where we found someone, right? So as an example, let's say you're looking at, let's say like making money online. There's a couple examples. Affiliate marketing groups. Where are people talking about affiliate marketing, right? Where are they already? Like affiliate marketing is super hot right now. And we basically have a way better way to do it in the network marketing industry. It's funny how now there's this new term and it's like, yeah, well, that's been around, it's just like the sexier way to call it. But it is different because obviously in network marketing, you actually get linked to those customers to infinity. In most affiliate marketing models, especially if you think of like Amazon, it's like you're going to earn 3 to 9% like one time rather than up to what? Like most comp plans are 36% month after month. And every customer they refer also goes to you. I mean, it's crazy. And so there's a great one that I actually just thought of, like affiliate marketing. Like if you're, instead of targeting, let's say I usually do this example for like the products, right? If you've trained with me before, but if you were thinking team builders, where are they already actively looking or talking about, how to make money online? So affiliate marketing groups, it could be personal development groups. I like to go into some of like the Tony Robbins groups of, personal development, because that's for me somewhere that's very important to me. Like I have a priority list, like what's very important. I'm going to work with someone who's willing to personally develop themselves, right? Who's committed to being the best that they can. And so first you can join a couple of Facebook groups and I'll show you some examples. Then you can engage in those groups like you're at a networking event. Again, what would you do in person? Right? What would you do if you were in person? Kind of think of like a BNI even. Anyone here done BNIs before? I think Lisa said she's a part of one. But what would you do at a BNI, right? You'd go meet people, talk to them, add value, ask them how, about their business, see how you can help each other out. Like it's the same thing. Like go and network, add value in the group, ask for suggestions, engage, comment, talk to people, and add friends. Right? Add more of your target audience. What you can do is you can go to a post that has a ton of comments too and sift through and kind of see like, ooh, who are some of the people that this is what I did, right? When I was talking about that closer, I went through the comments of one of these big posts and then I saw this mom who had kids and I was like, oh, she looks like she understands our audience, right? So you can kind of sift through, be like, who are the people that I want to create connections with, right? And then you can engage them after you add them as a friend. Do exactly what we did yesterday. Through your weekly posting, your daily posting, you're going to engage and attract them through what we call curiosity marketing, which you'll get more into that later this week. And I'll try to touch on a few minutes today. I'm running a little behind, but curiosity marketing. Okay. So a BNI is, I forget what it stands for. It's like business networking industry.
You could just, if you really are interested in your local chapter of BNI, just Google BNI and your city and it'll come up. There's chapters all around the world.
Yeah, I think she was just asking to understand like the perspective of what a BNI is, but basically it's like it's a networking group. So you can just consider it that. And so again, step 1, join some interest Facebook groups. Step 2, engage like you're at a networking event. Step 3, add more of your target audience as a friend. Step 4, through your formula that I'm going to show you in a minute, engage and attract. And 5 is that curiosity marketing. Okay. That happens. So here is the social media formula that we shared yesterday. Okay. If you want to write this down, take a screenshot, right? You want to have, really 3 to 4 lifestyle posts a week, right? I say 3 because you may like take Sundays off posting or whatever it is. 1 high engagement post. So similar to that chili post, just get people talking. Now that you understand, you'll see more of them out on the internet. You can start to create some of your own. one product curiosity post, meaning a post that is going to get people to raise their hand and say, hey, I want more information, right? And then one business call to action post, meaning a post, I'll show you an example here in a minute, that's getting people to say, hey, I want to learn more. I want to learn more about what you do. I'll show you that example in just a second.
And can you repeat your steps? We've got people, it was just a little fast.
Yeah.
So it was right before this. It was step 1, step 2. Yeah.
Yep. This one. So step 1, join interest Facebook group.
So anyone just take a screenshot of this, then we can move on. Yeah.
I'll leave it up for a second.
Okay.
Sorry. Did I need you guys got it? Okay. Weekly formula. Okay. Okay, groups. I'm going to show you guys some examples. So let me pull up. So one of the groups I did this in to give you an example is the Smart Moms Planning Disney group, because Disney is an interest. At the time, I also had a product that was like very used at Disney parks, shall I say? Like it was like a beauty product. So I knew a lot of moms. We had a lot of moms that would buy it, stay-at-home moms. And so this is a great group where I created a ton of connections. I got actually a ton of sales from this. I didn't do it too much in here. Oops. Oh, who's that little cutie? Okay, let me see. If I search myself, it should pull up my posts. Oh yeah, okay, I did. This was a post. So when I first came in here, you can see my name came up on these posts because I was commenting on all these posts. And I was literally like, this had 127 comments. I was like engaging. I was talking to people. I was adding moms as friends, doing the same. This is why my name came up when I searched it in the group. Then I put I asked questions. So again, so step 1, engage in the group. Okay. I want you to write this down. Engage in the group. Okay. Step 2, post value or ask for suggestions. This works super well in these groups, asking for suggestions. You will get a ton of reach. Okay. And like authentic suggestions, right? Like truthfully, like I was really, what did I put? Going to Disney World on a 6-day pass with my son. Should we do Animal Kingdom? I wasn't sure. I had never been. And I got a ton of responses, connected, added them as a friend, so on and so forth. We also guys, look it. So this one had 83 comments. I said, call in all sweets at Disney fans. Tell me your favorite treats for your park days. But also notice the post before only got 3 comments. So you're going to have to fall on your face a few times in order to like have success. Okay. Like you got to be willing to try certain pieces of content out to see what wins and what doesn't work. Right. And it's the same with engagement posts. I will, like when I do my weekly engagement posts, sometimes I'll do something and it like won't get any reach. And that's okay. Like I learned that's not a good one, right? But you have to be willing to try things to then find the posts, like the chili posts. And we've got a handful of others that get that kind of reach. So Instagram does not have groups, Lisa. So for Instagram, that's where you can use that kind of explore page tag method that I was sharing about. And then again, just posting, asking questions, things like this. This one got nothing, right? But that's one way. So another one, I'm trying to think another good one. Oh, also just like my local moms group, McKinney Moms, stuff like that. Again, like if I were to search affiliate marketing, and this is where you can think of what we call the term grassrooting. You're going where your ideal avatar already is, looking for what you have. So it's not just where do your people hang out, but it's where do your people that are looking for what you have hang out. So again, if they're looking to make online income, They might be in some of these affiliate marketing groups. They might be in some digital marketing groups. They might be in some MLM groups. They might be in some, you know, what are other things you can do from home? Etsy shops, like Etsy shop store owner type groups, things like that. So that's an example of some Facebook groups. I can drop, I'll drop this Smart Mom Disney for anyone that has, like, again, if this isn't your interest, don't use it. But if you do have a Disney interest, this is a pretty good one. And then I'll also dropping these in the chat. This Tony Robbins one, I like this one because just really high level people in here. Also, I'll drop this affiliate marketing one. I'm not in here, but this might be a good one. And it's not so much like how many people are always in there. Some people think, oh, it's I go to the group and I see how's the engagement. So, okay, 140 comments, 10 comments, but I see that there's some posts that have like, they have decent comments, right? That's how I determine which group I'm actually going to like join, because I only really want to actively work, 2 or 3 groups, because I'm checking in on them once a day or every other day. So I don't want to be like, the goal isn't to be in like 20, it's to pick 2 or 3 where I can really engage, make connections, add value, ask for suggestions, get the algorithm working, draw those new people to me. Does that make sense, you guys? Any questions there? Okay, we got about, we're going to wrap up within 5 minutes. So if you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the comment. From here, we're going to, I'm going to show you my post and give you a couple posts you can do. I'll give you a post you can do. And then we're going to talk more about like curiosity marketing towards the end. Do you only join groups that you can work? Like friends invite me to join their groups. I feel obligated, but not really interesting. Oh yeah, I don't join groups all the time. You mean like for products and VIP groups or what? Danya.
I think what she means is just do you go into every group you're invited to? And I know Megan doesn't, and I know I don't. So you go into what you feel good about going into, right? For you. Yeah. And if it's a really good friend and it's a group, well, maybe you might go in there even if it's not a full interest, but I would just watch your time, and remember guys, we want to really become really focused on our objectives. And, we want to be people that when we say we can work 1 or 2 hours from our phone in a day, that we really can do that. So a lot of these things are, you got to watch your extras, if you will. Yeah. All right, Meg, I know.
I really just, yeah, we're fine. I really just only join like my students groups typically, because I'm giving them like an audit and helping them. So yeah, I'm not really doing the invite thing. Plus I don't get half my notifications sometimes. So real quick, I want to answer these before we do the drawing here. Charlotte, to answer your question, if they kicked you out of a group, it means that you might be making call to action posts about what you have. These groups, you do not mention anything about what you have, like, hey, looking for a way to make income. None of those posts. You're truly adding value, adding the engagement, and you think, how can you help the community grow by creating engagement, creating valuable content, stuff like that. And so Joanna, you mentioned similar to how realtors farm neighborhoods. Exactly. This is where this grassrooting term comes from. They're farming the neighborhoods, right? They're going where their ideal client already lives. So I want you to think of that as well. So for your homework tonight, I want you to join, 3 to 5 groups around your interests. And I want you to make a post in there asking for some sort of suggestions around that. Okay. And before we jump in, I'm going to show you that example of
how to write the Facebook post.
Yeah, well, I was going to show them. Should I do this on Friday so I can do it more in time?
I would do, yeah, I think you're right, because we spent a little more time. I think do the how to write the Facebook post on Friday, but definitely let's give them a couple posts. You have some amazing posts, Megs, that really are guaranteed to work. So maybe go through it and talk about those couple ones.
That's what I was going to, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys a couple of examples of some of the recruiting posts that you can do on your personal walls, right? So you understand, okay, now I'm adding friends, I'm making connections, I'm engaging, I'm adding value. Now, what are they going to be? What do I want them to see? Like maybe once a week. Okay. So I'm going to show you an example of mine, and then I'll give you one and I'll post it right after this that you can do. And give me a second. I had it pulled up and then I went to the groups, so I lost it up. And then Jane, if you can have the drawing ready, that would be great. Okay. So later this week, we'll get into how do you create posts and a little bit of like copywriting, even like how do you speak to your audience. But this is a post I did that generated 46 comments. I think from here I had like 15 conversations and had multiple, business builders wanting to join me. So first off, I had a pretty good hook. I was like, don't read this if you're financially comfortable. Okay, like really, who's 100% financially comfortable? There's always that like next level, right? But I had a call to action. Which is right here. I said, drop a fire if you want me to send details about a potential chat, right? So we're going to break down like how I generated this post so you can start to generate a more authentic posts like this. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you a post that has created a lot of engagement around our opportunities with our students opportunities. And then also so that you can get now into conversations with people over the next 24 hours, because tomorrow we're going to start to teach you how to crush those conversations so you can generate the interest, start to build rapport, and be ready to have recruiting conversations tomorrow. Does that sound good, you guys? Sound good? Okay. Okay, let me pull it up again. I'm going to put it in.
You're pulling it up. Let me answer a few questions. So guys, real quick, your posts, just a quick review, kind of what we talked about yesterday. So if you're posting a post, if you've got a business page, post it there, personal page there, post the same post in your stories or part of the post in your stories, and post it in your groups if you have customer groups or VIP groups or whatever. So literally you could be using the same post. You might change, like a word or two if it's not appropriate, like, you know what I'm saying, right? But you're doing what we call repurposing the post. Okay. And it saves you time. It will also, there are different audiences in all of those areas. So don't be worried about using duplicate content. That's the idea. All right, Megs, back to you.
Okay. Here we go.
I still feel like I feel like I'm like the newscaster and you're like the, back to you.
Okay. So you guys, we're going to post this in the Facebook group, and this is a post that can generate a ton of interest. It says, I'm curious who could use an extra 500 to 1,000 per month without having to recruit a single person or build a team. Now, this post is for you if you are wanting to attract people who are really trying to build that part-time income, plug into maybe a system where they can build customers, right? So again, people like our business isn't healthy without customers. So yes, team building, you can build a ton of great income, but on the customer side as well, people can build part-time income really just with on the customer side, right? So this one we're going to post. And then also, I'll show you this next one is only for you if you're somebody who's like, I'd rather have less people. Actually, I'm going to save that for this week. Sorry. teaser later this week. So I want you guys to post that. as your homework as well. So you're going to find 3 to 5 groups to join. You're going to start to engage, and then you're going to post this so that you can start to now, like yesterday, you primed your audience, right? You got, now people are going to start to see your comments, your content, etc. So yeah, last screen. And I am going to post it in the group. So.
All right. Are you good, Megs?
No, 1 second.
Okay.
She wants to see it. Okay. So there's the post again. And then, all right, Jane, can you share your screen now and pull our lucky winner chicken dinner for the day, our drawing winner?
We got to see. She sharing the screen so we can see or who is sharing.
I gotta make her co-host.
Okay. How do you respond?
Jane. Sorry, guys, I'm moving a little slow. I'm definitely under the weather. Okay. Jane, you're a co-host. Are you able to share your screen so we can pick a winner here? Yay. Awesome. Now let's make sure that that winner is here live, whether on the Facebook Live or here. Ooh, it's moving slow. And tomorrow, you guys, Joan is going to, Pirio.
I'll do it just when you're done.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think she's here. I know she was. Yay! She's here. Congratulations. Let's jot her down, Jane, for her Starbucks gift card. And let's pull one more winner for some Ignite Your Light cards.
Yeah, oh, matala.
Kim, it's so good to, I just saw Kim Porterfield in here. Oh my gosh, friend, it's been years, I feel like, at least 3 or 4 maybe. Yes, you can totally post the income disclosure statement in the comments for sure. Like a little link to it. Krista, is she here?
She's not, is she, Krista? She was yesterday. All right, we better get one more.
Okay, Beth is telling us to help her get over herself. I love it. Yeah, you guys, just get over it. Like, get over your thoughts about who cares what people post.
Chris is here.
Boop, boop.
Krista has been here tonight. Oh, she was, but she must have just popped off.
All right, Chris is our live winner. All right, congrats. All right, well, you guys, I hope today was helpful. Thanks for bearing with me a little bit. Always seem to get sick during these boot camp challenge weeks. It sucks. Anyways, I hope today was really helpful. I know I threw a lot at you, but just know, again, we're understanding activity that now we can do on a daily basis, super consistently, but in part-time, little chunks of our time. So Joan, I'll let you kind of wrap up with our little announcement for tomorrow.
All right, guys. Well, gosh, let's give it up for Megan. I know she's been a little under the weather, and Megan, you're doing such a great job. That was totally packed with tons of value. What I want to say is take a moment and review your notes and do that really quickly so that you can see what are those things that stand out. Can you help me mute there, Megs? All right, guys. So what I need to do is, I got them. Okay. All right. So tomorrow, really excited about tomorrow. We have a panel joining us, and some of them are in here right now. Very excited about you hearing from other people that have had success all around holding effective recruiting conversations that convert to more enrollments. And what we're going to do is we'll kick off the day. We'll share some wins from today and some of the different things that we learned that may have been of value to us. We'll jump right into the first 20 to 30 minutes of training you on the 4 steps. And the 4-step conversation actually came in your workbook, looks like this. So you have a chance to review it. And my panelists will share and weigh in on their own experience, bringing their wisdom to the call. At the end, we will, of course, answer questions. Megs will be in the chat answering questions and supporting in that way. And again, what our goal is to make sure that you guys not only understand why these things are important to your business, but truly how to do them. And that's one of the things I love about these lives. So everybody have a fantastic rest of your day. The VIPs, we're cruising over into that group right now. And Megs, anything else before we sign off?
No, I think that's it. I'll send you guys the VIP if you're a VIP, and we are closing. So let's drop that link one more time if anyone wants to upgrade to the VIP lounge. You can drop, if you can drop that, Joan, I'm sending a text to everybody in the VIP now. So, and we'll see you on there. And I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.
All right, let's give it up for Megs, guys. Woo, woo, woo. And give it up for you for being here and staying all the way through. Love it. See you guys. Oh, wait, don't end.
I'm not ending.
Okay.
I'll just let everybody leave. Bye, guys.
I'm just putting it in there if you didn't get it. Whoop. Yeah, I'm not a host, so unfortunately. Okay, wait, let's see.